Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Generation Y. We are your hosts. I'm Shabnam.
And I'm Adam. Welcome.
Welcome back. So remember, this is a live show. And the reason it's live is because we actually want you to take an active part in this show. We've been discussing various topics over the last few weeks. We've talked about different areas of self-development. And most of this is almost like a course, if you like, on the different parts of self-development.
Well,
Start again. But there you go. Those are what other things have we covered so far?
in terms of the show in general?
Yeah, in general.
So we've covered.
Let's do a recap.
We've covered things like self-worth. We've covered things like I can't remember what else.
Why have you gone so blank?
I don't know. Yeah, we've covered things like self-worth, patience, making mistakes, how to handle problems, things like that.
Building confidence.
Building confidence. These are just general things that we've just covered, but encompassing all, what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, when I talked about was keys to happiness. We find that sometimes we're all going through our issues and so on and so on, and we can't find answers. And what we talked about was certain keys to happiness, and now we're just breaking them down. Yeah, we're breaking them down and starting to talk about them, not in depth, but just a little bit. And we've had no engagement, so there must be one miserable audience outside. I mean, we've had a few people call in, right?
We've had a few people call in, but we would like more. Do you know what? Everyone's got a particular key to happiness. Everyone has their own very, very special key to happiness that keeps you happy. And your key is going to be different to someone else's. And we want to know what your key is, okay? We really want to know what your key is. Is it that, you wake up and, you've got to have the I can do attitude? Does that just keep you smiling? Does that keep you happy? And does it rub off on other people? I mean, your key to happiness shouldn't just be your secret key, should it?
No, of course not. I mean, you share it with other people, right? Sharing is giving.
And sharing is caring.
And caring, yeah, exactly. So, if you share that with other people will share it with other people, and they will share it with other people.
And you'll be rewarded for all at the end of it.
So it's that saying, isn't it? I know a bloke who knows another bloke, who knows another bloke, and you might know that bloke. It goes around in full circles, right? From that film, right? So, and then all of a sudden, we live in a happy world. Nice utopia, but it's a nice thought.
Idealistic,
it's a nice thought, but let's start with one action at least.
We can do it with one thought. One thought. I mean, there's so many, like all those different things that we covered in the first part of the series, where we looked at there's that fear of making mistakes. These are all things that linked in to preventing us from being happy, preventing us from finding out where our true happiness lies. And once we overcome those battles and overcome those different aspects of our life where we're just not so confident in, once we've dealt with those problems, we can really start to look at what the most important things in our life are. And once we can work out what those are, then inshallah we can help others around us as well.
So let's get to the meat on the bones, as they like to say. Yeah, I don't know who they are.
I was going to say, who's they?
Anyway, as I like to say. Yeah. Have you ever given anything to anyone?
Have I ever given anything to anyone? You're always giving things to people. You're passing the ketchup across the table.
Well, today we're going to talk about giving and random acts of kindness. This is one of the key things of happiness, yeah? Is giving and random acts of kindness. Some people underestimate immensely how much giving can change a person's life. Giving can change their life, and random acts of kindness. And I'm the most random person when it comes to being random. I'm Mr. Random.
I think you are the king of random.
Shabnam will testify that. I'm the king of random. It frustrates her like anything. But I'm the king of random. So anyway, so as I was saying, doing random acts of kindness will change other people's lives. But you know what? It'll help you. You can have a miserable day. You can get up and really, really I was listening to a video earlier on, and it talked about how you'll get up and you could be really miserable, and you just don't want to be nice to anyone. You just don't like people. Certain people have really knocked you. And you know what? Just pushing yourself to just do a small thing, and just even smile at someone, yeah? And that child may smile back at you, or someone might smile back at you, or just even helping them. You know, we seem so busy today in our lives. Like, I ain't got time for nothing. I need to go to work. I've got 10 minutes. Oh my God. And some old lady comes across and says, can you help me across the road, love? I'm having a bit of trouble getting across the road. Or some uncle comes up to me and goes, Beta, can you please help me? I want to cross the road. Yeah? And, you know, you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I've got 5 minutes left to work. I need to get to work.
But you'll do it.
Will you?
Well.
Will you do it? Really? You have 5 minutes left, and this person wants you to help them across the road. Would you do it? What I want you to do is I want you to call in and tell us what random acts of kindness you have done.
And now, what it's done for you as well.
Do you know what? I guarantee you, no one's going to call in.
Why? Do you think everybody's really
our phone
unhappy?
Lines, for some reason, I think they're dead. They're not even working. I don't even know if we paid the bill because they don't seem to be working. No one seems to be calling in. But if you do call in, and I will happily take your call, and so will Shabnam. Just tell us what random acts of kindness you've done.
Do you know what? It's really important actually to acknowledge those random acts, because it's those random acts that can really, really change someone's day, someone's week, you know, someone's outlook on everything. They might be, you know, really, really sad. Maybe nothing nice has happened to somebody for a really, really long time. And your tiny act of randomness that you thought has been very, very random has inspired them to do something spectacular. Today, we're going to be tackling another couple of issues, or another couple of keys to happiness. The last few weeks, we've mentioned a few of them. We've talked about knowing when you've made mistakes. We've talked about being patient as a key to happiness. We've spoken about choosing the right friends. They can take you on a path of happiness.
So that's some of the stuff, yeah? So this part of giving, yeah? These are our seven tips to happiness. Adam and Shabnam, 7 tips to giving, this one is, yeah? Mm-hmm. Not 7 tips of happiness, what am I talking about? 7 tips of giving.
7 tips of giving.
Right, so let me get it right. 7 tips of giving, that's our ones for today, yeah? So take note. So what's number 1?
One of the first things, something that's important, when people mention giving, what does it mean? A lot of people think it's just a form of donating money, okay? And when you give something, you give in charity, you'll donate some money. Now, there was a research agency called Foster's, and they did a bit of research and found that although 50% of...
Who is it?
Fosterers.
Research done by?
Fosterers.
Fosterers. Okay.
Yeah? So they did a bit of research, and they found that only 50% of people, when they gave in the form of hard cash in money. But the rest of their audience actually donated in different ways.
Yeah. I thought you said Frosties for a second. Kellogg's I was like, Kellogg's Frosties?
Frosties? No.
Who does that type of research? But they're giving as well.
They're giving as
well. They're giving breakfast clubs at schools.
Many, exactly. And that's another way of giving. So let's go through some of these and maybe we can talk about them.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start with number 1, volunteering.
Volunteering, you can volunteer your time. You can volunteer your gifts. For example, like you might have a particular talent that you might be able to help out somewhere with.
There are charities out there. There are, organizations. People are starting community initiatives who are desperate for talent. Yeah, perhaps don't have the money to pay for it, but if you feel like doing something good and you want to practice your skill set, I'll give you a little story about myself. Yeah, and I don't usually talk about myself. Shabnam might find that hard to believe, but I don't.
I will listen.
Yes. So, I personally, when I started the volunteering thing 10 years ago, before that was like, what on earth why would I want to volunteer my time? Time is money, right? That's what you think in your head. I'm going to get paid for this. Yeah. That's all that used to be. You know, people around me say, you should get paid for what you know. Why are you going to volunteer for? When I first mentioned it to a few friends, and I did it once. I worked for a friend's radio station. I helped set up this radio station with them, and you know, I was there from, like, I only intended to be there for an hour, and I was there from morning until night, literally until midnight, at this radio station, because I just...
Did you have nowhere else to go?
That's what they said.
That's a long time to be somewhere.
Yeah, that's a very long time. I used to do the morning drive time show at 7 o'clock, and I used to end up doing this night show, producing for it at until midnight. I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it, because I suddenly found that there was a community spirit, yeah, like a togetherness, a team bond, and everyone there was helping out, yeah. It's the first time I came across some sort of community initiative. Now, when I was young, I grew up around my mother doing a lot of community work. You know, she built against the satanic verses, you know, when the book came out, and she got petitions all the way around and got people to kind of go against this book, and, you know, got the MP involved and tried to put, so, you know, I grew up around that. And going into my teens, you know, I just used to think, you know, why did she used to do that for? But then it came to a stage when I did it myself, and I actually found out, and, you know, it was just like this amazing, and I understood why my mother did what she did, and it's a beautiful thing to give to the community, give back to people.
Volunteering it's also quite special, because there's one thing about just getting rid of some money. It's very detached from the actual cause. If you actually take that time out to volunteer within the cause that you want to contribute towards, whether it's with your time, whether it's with your resources, whether it's at an advisory level, you'll find it to be much more rewarding as well. Not only will you get to know the organization, like you said, you get to know the people that are involved within the organization, and you can develop a much better connection with the organization as well. In
some religions, some cultures, it's, you know, especially in the Indian culture, it's something called seva, yeah, where you serve. I think where the word serve has come from, yeah. But seva is something that you do as part of their religion, as part of who they are, as part of their structure, to help the needy, to help other people. You know, if you're receiving, you need to be giving with the other hand, right? And there's that saying that who was it? Muhammad Ali, yeah. He said that I help other people. Helping other people is the rent I pay for being on this earth. Yeah?
That's deep.
So the helping the less fortunate is the rent I pay for being on this earth. Yeah? For having what I have around me. And he had a lot of things, you know. Allah blessed him with so many things. So, you know, things like that. Volunteering helps other people. It gives back to society. It's the rent you're paying. If you get given things, you got a house, a car, everything. You know, you've got clothes on your back. You might have the most small things, but someone just coming up to you and saying, "Look, can you help me across the road, or can you help me with this?" And if you've got time, do it. But giving up your time is one of these things that's, aside from money, is your time. That's an investment.
So you can either volunteer for a particular organization, or if that's something that doesn't really interest you, another way of giving is actually mentoring. That is much more in-depth. So you're more one-to-one. You can coach someone, for example, in a particular thing, and it might just be, you know, mentoring someone through an essay, mentoring someone through, you know, they're about to do their driving test. Mentoring them through a job application. It could be anything, very, very small. To you might be something small, but that is actually mentoring, when you're taking someone down a particular path and you're imparting your knowledge with them.
If you're the ages of 30 to 40 and you're watching this, my age bracket basically, yeah, my advice to you would be is to get into mentoring. Because you are in a place right now where you're doing something you know pretty well. You're kind of established. And you may not have had people around you when you were kind of climbing the ladder or doing what you're trying to learn life. So you are where you are now, and you know the only thing you could do is just help other people, help the younger people in their 20s. There are organizations out there who mentor, who specialize in raising aspirations of young people and mentoring. You know, as time goes on, as the show goes on, we're going to get some organizations in just to introduce you to that world. But it's a really, really, really amazing thing when you start mentoring. You can mentor your younger brother, you can mentor whoever.
I was going to say, it can start at
Whoever it
home.
is.
It doesn't have to be, you know, you have to find a stranger. Starting on your own doorstep is sometimes much more effective. You can actually start to see the fruits of your labour very, very quickly.
But we do it quite often. You know, we give people advice, right? Our friends' advice. That's mentoring. Just giving that nice advice, preventing them doing what you perhaps would have done in the past. It's unleashing their potential, right? So that's mentoring. That's number 2. Yeah.
And moving on from that, so you know, if it's not, volunteering is not really a thing. Mentoring is too deep for you. You don't want to get involved in the one-to-one thing. You know, you could be, if you strongly believe about a particular cause, you can be an advocate for them. Spread the word, get involved, like what you were saying earlier. You can do petitions, you can raise awareness. There's so many ways of social media that you can do that as well.
I know enough people like that. And I hope we have a call, believe it or not.
We have a call. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, caller. What's your name and where do you come from?
Hello, it's Sabina Katoon.
Wa alaikum salam,
Sabina.
Sabina.
I'm from Huddersfield.
From Huddersfield. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. How can we help you?
You're doing a very nice program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have you been listening in to
Yeah.
all the different keys of happiness?
Yeah.
What's your key to happiness?
I think that's
no, we've lost you. Sabina, please give us a call back. You didn't share your key to happiness with us. As soon as you call, we'll take your call immediately, inshallah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Sabina, call back, please. Listen, you know what? Look, advocacy, yeah, you know, I know, I most of my friends around me, they say, you are who your company is, right? And I've got another saying, is like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Yeah? Staying in mind, we touched upon that.
We did this last week.
Last week. So listen, most of my friends that I have around me are involved in some sort of activism, yeah, charity work, yeah. Charity work meaning that they're passionate about causes and they want to get involved. They might do a social media campaign, or they might, someone might come to them and say, look, you know, like today I went to a khutbah today, yeah, and they want to collect warm clothes because the winter's about to come, and they're collecting warm clothes for refugees, yeah, that are stuck in Europe. And they said, look, you know, give us some warm clothes for my local mosque. And, you know, you might want to do something like you've got a load of friends on Facebook and you might put out a status. Guys, if you've got warm clothes or anything, and I'm going to come to this place, tell me where you know, I'll collect it, whatever. Yeah, you might want to do something. That's advocacy. That's getting involved. Yeah, you know, just something like that. Or you might get a video and you might think, wow, I don't want other people to know about this. You might post that up on your YouTube channel or Twitter or whatever. That's advocacy. That's getting the message out there.
Raising that awareness.
Raising the awareness,
and you could do it
exactly.
through different ways. For example, you know, if you write well, if you like poems, you know, if you go to lots of circles and things like that, you can share those. You know, you can share those things there as well. We're just going to take another call. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, caller.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
What's your name?
It's Sabina again.
Oh,
Sabina, we
welcome
lost you.
back. Welcome back. So, before we lose you, what is your key to happiness?
I know. Yeah.
What's your key to happiness?
My happiness is I love cats. And my family.
Your family.
Yes.
And did you say something else? Did you say something about cats?
Yeah, I love cats.
Oh, you love
mashallah.
cats.
Tell me what it is about cats that make you happy.
It's the fur.
It's the fur?
Oh, you like the fur?
Yes, I do.
And how many cats do you have?
I have one cat at home.
You have 4 cats at home?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, mashallah. What are they called?
I don't know.
Have you not named them?
No, I haven't.
Oh, subhanAllah. Maybe you should name them and then you can share their names with us as well.
What random acts of kindness have you done recently?
Pardon?
What random acts of kindness have you done recently?
What random kindness?
Random act
random
of
acts
kindness.
of kindness.
Random accents.
No, random act, random, I can't
What
even say
random things have you done?
What thing of random
What
things
random
I've
things
done?
have you done to make someone smile?
Randomly to make people smile.
Yeah. Think of something over the last couple of days. What did you
I
do?
laughed at him like Woody Woodpecker.
You laugh like Woody the Woodpecker.
Yeah.
And did that make someone smile?
Yes.
Was it a child or was it an adult?
Pardon?
Was it a child or was it an adult?
Adult.
Fantastic.
I
See, that is amazing.
probably wouldn't smile if someone laughed like Woody the Woodpecker. I'd probably be laughing on the floor in stitches.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is amazing. And what would you like to share with the rest of our viewers?
Nothing basically, because they cut the line.
But Masha, look at that. Okay, so 2 keys of her happiness were her cats and her family. Do you know, it could be anything, something that really, really sparks your day.
Yeah. So moving on. Vocation, number 4. Talk to me.
You jumped a bit there.
Talk to
okay,
me.
I'm just gonna. I was just trying to.
I think we've covered.
go
I think
all of
we've
that.
covered advocacy. I can carry on for days.
Okay, no,
about
that's
that.
fine. You know what? The other thing that we wanted to mention was giving blood. Some of you might not think that this would have been high on your priority list, but it's actually something that is really, really very, very important. And not many people within some of the Asian communities give enough blood, and there has been a lot of research done within it, and our numbers are really, really low. If we can give up time, we can give up money, we can donate so many different things, we can donate clothes. Why do we not give blood?
I've just had an epiphany, just that light bulb moment. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding.
Yeah, I've just had
What
this
is it?
mad light bulb. It's just all right. I just, while things happen, my brain starts to tick.
Yeah.
And I've just thought of something, but I will share that later on. Don't worry, I'll share that later on. Yeah, I've just had this mad idea. Oh my God.
Are you not sharing it now?
No, I'm not.
Right, I'm going to move on then.
I will tell you when we go home.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
okay. And then we'll share it with you next week if I feel
we'll
it's
share
appropriate.
it with you once I've got it confirmed. But listen,
You know, and the other thing I was just going to say, while you think about your idea,
yeah.
so many times we could get sick. We end up in hospital. People go through various different operations. And, whenever you're about to consent to something, you always get asked, are you willing to take blood if you need it? And quite happily, because it's life-saving, we need it, a lot of us will say, yes, of course we'll take blood. But do we ever think about those people who are actually giving blood?
It's a sunnah, right, to give blood?
It's a sunnah.
Yeah, it's a sunnah to give blood. All of you who like wearing thobes and growing beards and, doing whatnot in regards to the sunnah, give blood. That doesn't mean give your friends who are, you call your friends blood, yeah? Don't do that.
No,
Blood,
I mean actually, book yourself in.
Book yourself in, get tapped
Give
there,
some blood.
get the injection in, and get the blood out.
you can give blood. You can give platelets. Platelets are an important component of your blood, which really helps people undergoing things like chemotherapy or other sorts of transplants, and they need that very much. So if you've got a local blood bank, find out where it is and just register. You only need to go every few months. You can only go a certain number of times in a year. And if you are healthy, then why not?
Yeah, help people. You know what? Bone marrow, blood, our Muslim community, we do not give enough. And really, really, we should. We really should. So that's that subject. We're going to go into that in a few weeks' time.
Inshallah, we will do.
But we gotta.
Another thing that we don't always think about. How about learning something, learning a skill so that you can actually help somebody else? For example, learning to lip read or learning British Sign Language. There are many, many members of our community who are hard of hearing or just can't hear at all. And wouldn't it just be amazing if you could be that person at an event or, where something is going on, something within your local community, where you could actually sign out everything that the speakers are saying. So it would invite other members of the community in, knowing that just because they can't hear, they're not going to be left out.
So lip reading is one, yeah? The other thing is that I say go to places, yeah, that, you know, you like giving, go to places that would like to help other people. So eat curry, save tigers is one of the things, yeah.
What's that? Tell me about that.
So basically there are some restaurant joints, yeah, or places to eat that like to give some of their profits to worthy causes, yeah. That's one form of giving, yeah.
Yeah,
enjoy
and you
yourself,
always
eating,
support those
give.
causes.
Yeah, always support those
and
causes.
while you're sitting there having a really nice meal, you know that a really good cause is being benefited somewhere else as well.
And you're filling your stomach and enjoying it, having a nice time. Why do you think it's important?
Having random acts of kindness is really, really, really important. And I think being random has sometimes a lot more benefit for yourself than, you know, planned things. Any idea why that might be?
I don't know, you tell me.
I've done things, I don't know about you, but sometimes I've done things randomly, like I've stopped. I know that I've come across people, sometimes they're just sat on the tube, they're just staring into space, okay? And I've stopped a couple of times and I've just said hello. And I've just smiled and I've just said hello, okay? And, you know, you realize that when a couple of times I've done that, and I've actually ended up engaging in such a nice conversation, and those people have thanked me. One particular person I remember that they actually hadn't spoken to anyone in their whole entire day, and I was the first person who actually acknowledged them. And they forgot that, you know, they were actually out and about. They were so into doing their robotic, mundane things of during the day, and I didn't even go into a very personal conversation with them. But you know, they felt acknowledged, and it was just so nice. And other people have done that too. What do you think? What have you done that you've seen that response has made you think, do you know what, I'm going to do that again?
You tell me.
There must be something. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know, there's loads of things like that. I am going to also talk about some of the other benefits. Okay?
You're going to talk about the other benefits?
I'm going to talk about some of the other benefits.
Fine.
So, you do this a lot actually. Paying people compliments. See, that's a compliment. Just paid you a compliment for paying other people compliments.
Okay.
Yeah? So I'd say that's, you know, quite a good quality to be able to do that, to pay people compliments. The reason that's so important is sometimes when you're having a little bit of a low day, someone comes along and says something nice. It can make you forget all those negative things. It can actually make you focus on the good things and some of the happy parts that allows you to carry on. Another thing is, you know, sometimes it's really, really good to smile. Inshallah, keep with some of these key things to happiness. Do keep some of these random acts of kindness alive. And inshallah, we'll see you again next week for another load of Generation Y.